Hey everybody, Zombie for Zombie Tactical Training, and today we're going to be looking at a video of a New Mexico State Police officer who got shot doing a traffic stop and still managed to get back in her vehicle and chase the suspect down. And this one we're going to talk about keeping your cool after you've been wounded in a gunfight. We're also going to be talking about situational awareness and weapon handling. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this video first, and I'll come back and we'll talk about some pointers and some things to think about in this video.
K98, shots fired, shots fired. White Arizona pickup truck headed westbound. Shots fired, shots fired.
K98, what's your location headed westbound?
K98, I'm in pursuit. I've been hit in pursuit. He's eastbound on I-40, just east of my location. White Arizona plate, white GMC Arizona plate, passing the 131.
Yeah, for passing the 131 white GMC, shots fired, K98 hit, and outside 55. K9 hit was hit, she's pursuing a white GMC vehicle, AZ plate unknown American Alpha. 10 pounds to K98, can you give us an updated location?
K98, we're traveling the speed limit. My lights are turned on, my rear's on, my camera is on. He's behind a semi. We're passing the 125 eastbound, doing 70 miles per hour. The plate is gonna be 347 Frank Tom Young. 347 Frank Tom Young. I believe he's gonna pull over. I don't know, he's got hazards on. It looks like he's getting rifle ready or something. I'm gonna keep distance.
Yeah, for passing the 125 70 miles per hour, looks like he's pulling over and does have hazard lights, but possibly getting armed with a rifle. The air support in the area. We definitely get air support in the area.
Fucker. Ah!
Go on to K98, did the vehicle pull over?
Affirmative. Driver is standing outside with his hands up. Driver standing outside with his hands up. Stand by 10-3 air.
Vehicle's outside driving, outside vehicle with his hands up. I'm showing you near the milepost 135, correct?
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Spotting units is going to be at mile marker 135. Air 10-3 at this time.
Can you hear me?
10-8, go ahead.
I'm gonna just hold my position until another unit comes. I can barely move my left hand. That's where I was hit. I'm gonna wait until further units come. He's got his hands outside he's standing outside his unit. I'm too far away where he can hear me. 10-4.
10-4, too far away for him to hear you. Break 10 count of 516, we're landing Laguna.
Can you hear me?
Agencies, also we'll let APD and surrounding units know as well. DC so as well.
I've got Laguna PD.
10-4.
Go. You go. Get back in the vehicle! I don't know. He was next to that guy that shot me. Get down on the ground! I've got one Laguna PD officer on scene with me. Got one Laguna PD officer on scene with me. Hey man. Hey. Just worry about him for now. I'll keep my eye on him. You come here. You come here. You come here. Come here. Down on the ground. Get down on the ground. Put your hands behind your head.
That's my son.
Yeah, he fucking shot me.
He did?
Yeah, no, I'm bleeding for no fucking reason.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Put your hands behind your back.
Oh, damn son of mine. That arm can't work.
You have any weapons on you?
No,
Where's your knife?
it's in my other pocket.
Get up.
Stupid kid, son. I'm so sorry, man.
Sit right there. Sit right there.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I don't know where I threw your knife, but don't move.
I'm not gonna move.
Let's move forward. Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
No sudden movements, man. Come here. Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. Put your right hand, reach in the back of your shirt, lift up your shirt. Turn around. Put your hands on your head. Put your hands on your head. Get on your knees. concussion. Cross your ankle. Don't move, man. Keep looking straight. Stay right there. And about. And this other one down. Anybody else in the truck?
Just my pet cat. Gat's on. That's all.
Where's the gun?
Sitting on the center console.
Sitting on the console?
Yes, sir.
Okay, get it. Let me lock
Sorry,
him.
my pants are falling down.
Huh?
Sorry, my pants are falling down, sir.
Okay, hold on. Go. Who else is in the truck?
Nope, just my pet cat. I'll do everything you want me to.
There's a dog in there. Keith! Stay right here.
Yes, sir. I won't move.
Stay right there.
Yes, sir.
Y'all want to put him in your unit? In here? Okay. Stay right there.
Yes, sir.
Don't move.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a dog in there? You have a dog in there?
No, it's on the other side. Can you put him in your unit? I don't want to deal with him right now.
Okay, all right. Let's go. Have a seat.
Yes, sir.
Stay there, don't move.
Yes, sir.
Move over a little bit. You don't have anything in your pockets? What's that in your pocket?
Wallet.
Go ahead and step back out. I need to search you first.
Yes, sir.
Turn around.
Yes, sir.
Anything in your pocket is going to stick me, hurt me, poke me.
You should not be.
Okay, spread your feet. You said your wallet's in here?
Yes, sir.
This pocket, this
Lower
pocket.
Upper pocket, sir.
Anything else in there?
No, not in that pocket.
Stay in that position, don't move.
Yes, sir. So, I might have a pocket knife in this pocket.
What's that?
That pocket knife and a rifle in the truck, yes.
Pocket knife in your truck?
Yes, sir, as well as a rifle.
A rifle?
Yes, sir.
Go and have a seat.
Yes, sir. You can find my ID in there as well.
Huh?
You can find my ID in there as well.
Okay. Sit in the hand. Huh? No, the vehicle's not clear yet.
You guys take care of her?
Yeah.
I'll be ready to make any recording.
Hold it.
Give me a
Sorry.
I will take care of 10% clearing the vehicle.
bit. Just quick fix for now.
Is there something in my eye, guys? This one here fucking hurts.
Yeah, you got blood. Shrapnel. You probably have some shrapnel in there.
Okay.
Skip Travis.
Wow, so that's how this one ends. Now, that was an amazing effort by this officer. She was shot in the hand, both hands actually, and she also took shrapnel in her right eye. And through all that, she still managed to chase the suspect down and stayed in the fight all the way to the end. I highly recommend that you look at the link or follow the link in the description to watch the full video. Because it actually does show her later on. She starts, whenever you're involved in a gunfight or firefight or anything like that, you're going to have a physiological response to that. Your body's going to do things. I felt that myself being in actual combat, and tactical breathing and things like that are great tools to use in situations like this to kind of prevent from some of these natural bodily responses to the high stress that you're under, causing you to make mistakes that could get you killed. So that's and in line with that, if you watch this full video, you do see there's a point later on where the this female officer does kind of break down when it all kind of sinks in what's going on, and you can see her start feeling the effects of the of an adrenaline dump. So I recommend that everybody watches this video in the follows the link in the description and watches the full video, because there's a lot of interesting things in there. Alright, so we're going to go through this video here. Now, the reason why she pulled this person over was because he was tailgating another vehicle. So this is a very minor traffic stop. When she walks up, she comes up on the passenger side of the vehicle. And the windows are heavily tinted, so she's not able to actually see inside. And it doesn't give her much heads up that this guy's got a rifle pointed at her, and you're going to see that here in just a second. Oh, there's the first shot. Alright, we've slowed this down now, so we'll be able to see it by frame. So here she is walking up. And I don't have a problem with the way she made her approach or anything like that. And she's coming up, looking into the window. Now she's coming up. This is off her body camera. And you're going to see the first round come right through the window. Bang. And she's hit right there. And later on, if you watch the full video, link in the description, you'll see that there's actually a couple bullet holes out that window that I could see. So it leads me to believe he fired at least 2 rounds at her right there. So at this point, she's on the ground, she's getting up and firing, and she gets some really good hits on this vehicle. Again, if you watch the full video, you'll see later on they walk up while they're investigating the crime scene, and it shows her rounds, and one of them went right where that guy's head should have been. So I don't know how he kept from not being ventilated right there, but she fired some good rounds on him. Then she ran back to her squad, called in shots fired. Now she's obviously wounded at this point, so I think she's kind of in a little bit of shock right now, checking her injuries, and she decides at this moment that she's going to pursue. So she starts going in, and she's updating her dispatch and letting everybody know so they can start getting the cavalry out there for her. But you can see she's bleeding a lot. And remember, she does have shrapnel in her right eye, but she is continuing this pursuit at this point. And the way for her ability to be shot like that and return fire as quickly and as effectively as she did is absolutely awesome, and something that every Leo should be able to do. And she's going to continue on at this down the road. Alright, now sped this part up a bit. and pretty soon we'll be back in her squad here. Now she's continuing on to follow the suspect, and she actually does catch up with him, which is pretty surprising. I mean, I don't. This is kind of an unusual shooting. And the way the guy just gave up and things like that, and how he's not really trying to speed or get away. And I didn't do a whole lot of. I look at these videos more from a tactical point of view, so I'm kind of looking at the mechanics of the gunfight that went on. So I don't have a lot of time to go in and look at the backstory, but yeah, I might be something worth looking into. I'm a little curious how all this. Now you can see the officer here is checking her injuries repeatedly, and she starts the initial adrenaline from the shooting is wearing off, so she's starting to feel the pain because she cusses a couple times, which is totally understandable because she has some pretty severe injuries right now. I don't think any of them are life-threatening, but they certainly don't feel very well. And they're like, again, for her to have these type of injuries, I mean, it would have been fine for her to just sit on the side of the road and let backup try to find it. All right, now she's going to get her AR-15 here, and there's going to be some stuff we need to talk about. Now, if you notice there, she tried to charge her AR, and she was unable to do it because of her injuries. Now, this is a situation that all self-defenders and Leos need to be familiar with and think about. How are you going to operate your weapon system if one of your arms is disabled, one of your hands are disabled? She's in a really bad situation because basically both of her hands are disabled. And quite honestly, at this point, I mean, you always want to be in a gunfight with a rifle instead of with a pistol. But due to her injuries and some things that we're going to see going forward here, I really wish she would have just gone with her pistol at this point. So, but right now you can see she's having difficulty charging the weapon, and eventually she does figure out a way to charge it, but then we have a much bigger problem that happens after that. Okay, so she charges it with her other hand, and look what happened to the magazine. Alright, if you watch here in slow motion, you'll see what happens. So she holds the weapon with her left hand and charges it with her right. So she pulls it back. She may have been able to rack around and put at least one round into that chamber. I suspect she did. Now the charging handle's forward. She goes to lift up the weapon. Now watch the magazine. She hit the magazine release and dropped her ammunition. So at the most, she has one round in that weapon. That is, if that mag was seated well enough that it actually picked up a round when she racked it. And she is going to use this weapon to try to take the suspect's father into custody. And it's a very dangerous situation because if this did turn into a shootout, she's wounded with a single shot weapon. And so we keep going on here. She does have the right idea about getting, you always, like I said, you always want to be in a gunfight with a rifle rather than a pistol. It's a much more destructive weapon. It has much better range. So her thinking's correct here. It's just given her injuries and the shock that she's experiencing, this turned out to be a kind of a bad decision that could have been really bad if things turned out differently. You can see here she's staying far back away from the suspect that she had the shootout with. She tries to contact him on the intercom system and whatnot. And you can see, like, if you just saw right there, her pistol was on her lap, and she just picked it up. I mean, so I suspect here she's just carrying her pistol, hopefully, before she gets out of the vehicle. A lot of this is, I mean, you got to consider she's been wounded, she's in shock. These this is the reality of what happens. So hopefully we can learn from this, and if we ever find ourselves in this type of situation, try to remember to keep focused. as difficult as it is. Now you can see here she's pointing the weapon at the suspect, and again, as a reminder, she has no magazine in that weapon, and maybe one bullet at best. But she does do something good up here. She's able to she has good situational awareness and realizes that there's another vehicle that seems to be connected to this event that's behind her. And she transitions and goes and deals with that threat, which you're going to see here in a second. And she's also got the right idea about using the A-frame of her door to stabilize her weapons platform there. That would always be a good thing to do, but it's especially good if you're wounded or having difficulties. But any law enforcement or self-defender, if you find yourself in a situation where you're out of a door like this, if you're able to, using that A-frame part of the door right there is a excellent stabilizing point for either a rifle or a pistol. As you can see that she realizes there's somebody behind her that seems to be connected. It's going to turn out to be the father of the suspect. So she did a very good job of keeping her head and keeping good situational awareness, and that's something that a lot of law enforcement officers, especially, or self-defenders, or anybody for that matter, have difficulty doing, especially if they've been wounded. You get what is called tunnel vision, where you only focus on that target, whereas she would be at the A-frame of that door just totally focused on the suspect, but she was not. She had a good enough situational awareness to realize there's a guy creeping up behind me that seems to be involved. I got to deal with this. And so she actually talks to this other police officer who's here to back her up and asks him to cover the original suspect, and she's going to go back and take care of the father or detain him. You see she's walking back and she's going to tell him, hey, do me a favor, I want you to watch this guy. She kind of explains it later on that she didn't want to have anything to do with him because she's really pissed about him shooting her, and I think that's a good call. For law enforcement officers out there, if you have the possibility of detaching yourself from that situation, that's probably a good thing to do. And you know as well as I do how your emotions and all that is going to be ripped apart in court. So a good defense attorney can make that a very bad day for you if you use some choice words or call them names. As stupid as I think that is, but that's the reality. Okay, so you can see here she's ordering him down. He is complying. She explains to him in some choice words that his son shot her. Now she's going to do something here that makes my blood turn cold. Watch what she does with the AR. Don't ever do that. Don't ever place a rifle down next to a suspect. Ever, ever, ever. Okay? If you've never learned anything else from me, learn that. I actually watched that go south one time in Iraq, and it almost cost a lot of people their lives. So do not do that. I'm trying to, I don't want to be too hard on this officer because I realize she's shot and going through a lot of things like that. But you'd never let go of a weapon that close to a suspect. Your weapon, duty weapon, or any weapon, in my opinion, any rifle should have a sling on it. And even with her injury, she would have been able to sling that weapon and keep it secure. But laying it on the ground that way, I know it doesn't have a mag and maybe it only has one bullet in it. That was still a massive, massive risk. So, yeah, don't do that, please. But I'm not trying to give this officer too much hell for that because I understand that she's feeling a lot of effects of the adrenaline, and she's also probably going into shock, and she has, some pretty severe injuries. They're not severe in the sense that they're going to kill her, but they are very painful, I'm sure. Now, this is the other police officers. Look like they were tribal law enforcement officers arresting the original suspect, the guy who fired at her. Um, and yeah, he just gives up and walks in. There's really not a whole lot to this. There's no more shots fired in this incident. So all in all, I think what this officer did was amazing. There's a few things we can learn about this. Like I said, as far as probably the biggest issues I have, with this, and like I say, I'm not trying to give her too much hell, but just things to think about and some things I wouldn't want to see. Don't leave your weapon down next to a suspect. That's a big one. Don't ever do that. That's basically giving up positive control of your weapon in a red zone. You don't do that. Number two, when when she transitioned to their AR when she was in the vehicle going after the suspect, that was the right idea. But she did not have the situational awareness to realize that she had knocked her magazine out. And if this guy, or say the father, decided to have a firefight with her, by the way, the father, though I don't think he was, at least from what I saw in the video, was violent or in any way trying to hurt officers. The father who came up behind her in that vehicle, he had a AR-15 and I think one or two pistols in the vehicle. So if this guy was nuts and wanted, like his son apparently is, and decided to shoot it out with this cop, she would have at best, one round AR, and that would be it. And they would, I mean, obviously she would be in, serious trouble. I'm not positive what weapon the suspect who fired at her had. It was a rifle, but I'm not sure what type. So if you follow the video or link in the description, you should be able to learn a little bit more about that. But that is about all I got from this. All in all, I think what she did was absolutely amazing. I think this shows you the type of bravery and hardships that officers have to go through every single day. And imagine going through things like this and then having people scream about defunding the police and all that. And don't get me wrong, I call out cops when they do bad, but I think they deserve to be commended when they do good. And this officer definitely did good, and she protected herself and her community. So I salute you.